Alright, hello there ladies and gentlemen, Moletrap here. Coming at you with game number 3, the winner's match of Group A of the 2004 ever OSL. And this is the winner's match between Xellos, who took out Max, and The Rock, who took out Julyzerg. So we're going to have a Protoss versus Terran going on here. There's The Rock right there, the purple Protoss player. And the teal Terran. We got alliteration in the colors and the races, ladies and gentlemen. Can't ask for anything more in a StarCraft game than that. Teal Terran, purple Protoss. This is going to be an exciting match, I can tell already. By the way, quick side note. When these games were actually played, they actually played them a little bit more divided up so that players had a lot more time to prepare for every single game. What I mean is that all of the first games of every group were played on the same day. And then all the second games of each group were played on the same day. And then all the third games of each group were played on a same day as well, a different same day. And different games on each day, basically. So there was 4 groups, there's 4 matches, but they were on different days. So just keep that in mind that, like, they've had a week to prepare for this game. So it's not just like they're playing different matchups every single game and they're not sure what to expect. They're able to prepare exactly for their match. So just something to keep in mind about this. I'm going to be casting them in group stage order, though, just to make it a little bit easier to keep track of for me. Otherwise, we'll have to spend every single game reviewing every group and where we are in the group and all that kind of stuff. And so I'd rather just kind of do it group by group. But just wanted to give that little caveat. In any case, we do have Xellos going for pretty standard play. We've got an early scout coming out for The Rock. This is the crazy geometric map that we talked about before, whose name is like on the tip of my brain, and I'm not bringing it up right now, but you know the one I'm talking about. You can already see the little triangle on the minimap that has been exposed by the probe scouting around, getting rid of some of the fog of war. And another side note, by the way, you know, you have to expect it, but these VODs are all going to be potato quality, and there's nothing I can do about that. There's just no way to get higher quality videos of these old games, but hopefully it'll be exciting regardless, and we'll still be able to watch it. My dream would be to somehow find like the replays for these and just be able to go back and actually like cast them all from replays or something like that. That would be so amazing to be able to get a remastered version of these old tournaments, but it's just not possible. The replays for all these old tournaments are locked away tight in a vault somewhere. Actually may have even been deleted by this point, who knows. But yeah, and also the stash of VODs that I had are actually apparently corrupt, so I don't even have those VODs, and those VODs were crappy anyways, but these are the same VODs that were uploaded to YouTube, and I've re-downloaded them from YouTube, and now I'm re-uploading them to YouTube, so it's going to be even a tiny bit worse quality than they would have been before, so I apologize for that, but we got some old school StarCraft with some legendary players playing against each other, so hopefully that's enough to make us happy. It's enough to make me happy. Anyway, we got Xellos building his factory here, trying to kind of corner this probe with Marines. That probe has nowhere to go. Finally, it does get cornered. A valiant attempt to escape and ascertain more information, but in the end, when you're a melee worker with barely any attack, you can't get away from several ranged units, and the Dragoon tracks down the SCV that was scouting at the exact same, or around the same time. The robotics facility is going down. I believe that Xellos did scout that robotics facility, but it's pretty much standard play, so he's going to be kind of expecting it. So we got a factory, we got the machine shop, and it looks like he's just building a tank probably. We don't see the machine shop worrying with any upgrades, so we're probably not going to see anything too crazy going on at this point. A couple of Dragoons running across the map as well, just to try to put some pressure on. And this is interesting. So we've got the robotics facility. There's the robotics support base. So we are going to see the Rock going for early Reavers here. And just putting a little bit of pressure on with those Dragoons as well. Again, remember, this is 2004, so you could kind of, usually you would have expected both players to expand by now, right? In later years, this is a much more macro-oriented matchup, but in 2004, it's very, very normal to go for one base play and play a little bit more cautious in that sense, basically. So, and the, players hadn't perfected the timings and builds and mechanics in order to protect an early expansion with very few units. Like, you almost always see them Terran expand in TVP these days and get a bunker, and then they repair the bunker, and then get the tanks to back up the bunker afterwards. So, but this is early days, so it's kind of, I don't know, I think it's fun to be able to see like what the playstyle was like for these players like back in the day. So the robotics support bay is down, the Reaver's on its way out. We're going to see the Reaver picked up in a shuttle, and now he's going to go across the map and try. Is he going to wait for 2 Reavers? He might be waiting for 2 Reavers and possibly even shuttle speed upgrade if he really wants to spare a lot of gas. And oh, a second barracks? Is he making 2 more barracks? I didn't see what they clicked on it, but I didn't see if that was the other one. And he's getting a comset station. He's got the academy. He's upgrading STIM. Actually, it could just be upgrading marine range, theoretically. But it's not solar flare, guys. I'm almost certain of it. Oh, this SCV spots the shuttle. He spots the shuttle coming across the map. And again, you know, it's kind of like to be expected that that's going to be there. But still, like, he sees it coming, and he knows exactly what the timing is. He's going to be able to prepare for it. He doesn't have an expansion to worry about, so he can kind of keep all of his units in one place in the main base to try and defend against this. But there's, I believe, 2 Reavers inside that shuttle, and so that's still going to be dangerous to deal with, even if he's prepared for it. He doesn't have a ton of Marines, so he can't target down that shuttle too quickly. And actually, you know what? He might have had a Reaver and like 2 Zealots or something inside there too. Drops out the Reaver first, actually. There's the Zealots. Oh, the Reaver doesn't get a Scarab off, I don't think. But if it did, I might have blinked because it was so close, because I did see the Marines die, so I apologize if I totally just missed that Scarab literally while I was blinking. But a lot of the Marines died, and I thought it was to the splash damage of these tanks attacking the Zealot was right on top of them. So the tanks actually gibbing their own Marines very quickly. But the Reaver not doing very much, and the Reaver is actually very, very low on hit points now as well. So it's going to be really tough for him to actually continue to use that Reaver, at least until the shields recharge. And we are seeing Xellos push out now. Is he going to go for a push, or is he just going to use this to try and secure his expansion and build out? It looks like he is trying to push out. There's the Reaver rearing its head again, though, and the Scarab is chasing those medics, and duds on the tank. It looked like it blew up on the tank, but it actually was a dud. It did not go off. Didn't do damage, I should say. And here comes the Dragoons, though, coming in before he's sieged up, and the Reaver as well. The Reaver's able to, oh, he targets down the Reaver with the siege tanks, but there's not enough Marines. He's actually targeting the Marines with the Dragoons instead of the tanks. He had an easy opening. He could have just right-clicked on the tanks and killed off a couple of them. He could have even shuffled the Dragoons in to try and get them next to the tanks so they couldn't do as much damage with their fire. But instead, targets the Marines being healed by the medics and loses several several Dragoons along with the Reaver, and now Rock is on the back foot, and he's gonna have to fall back and try and play defensive. Xellos is pushing across the map. He's got 3 barracks. He's continuing to upgrade his Marines, and he's pushing across the map with a force of tanks. And imagine if this was 1 tank or 2 instead of 4 or 5 pushing across the map. It'd be a lot easier for him to deal with this, especially with the Reavers, right? You can deal with medic Marines with Reavers and a few Dragoons. You cannot deal with tanks with that very easily, though. And so now we have Xellos setting up shop outside of the, and this is what we kind of talked about in that preview that I did for this, where there's this narrow bridge leading into the main base area, or leading into the natural expansion, and then there's another choke point leading into the main from the natural. But now that Xellos has control of that bridge, and I think that might have actually been a little bit of a mistake for Rock to crab walk his Dragoons back over that bridge into his main, because now he doesn't have any threat from both sides. He's got all of his units inside here. He could have kept those Dragoons out in the map and actually threatened both sides. And, you know, if Xellos moved in too far, he could come in from the back and kill off the tanks, but now he's got nothing to go around behind on the tanks, except for that shuttle. It could be that he's going to be able to drop some Zealots on top of those tanks from behind with the shuttle, and that might be his plan. So it's going to be Dragoons versus Medic Marines. They're going to have Stim upgraded as well as the range. The Dragoons have range upgraded as well, but the Medic Marines have tanks to back them up as well. And oh, he's dropping out 2 Reavers in the back, And 2 Scarabs for 2 units is not a great trade, but he does clear up that situation. And here we go, there's Stimming behind. Oh no, he kills off 1 Reaver. He's gonna try and target down all the units. He's going with the Dragoons from the other side. Picks off a free tank while the Medic Marines were chasing the shuttle. So well played by Rock in one aspect, but in the other aspect he loses. Oh no, is he gonna lose this? He's gonna lose the shuttle. He just leaves the shuttle there with no hit points. Rock, what are you doing? Oh my god, and I don't even know, there might have even been a Reaver inside that. That is just, oh, such a misplay. He got away with the shuttle and then just left it there. He said, you know what, I think I need to make a donation to the needy Terran children of the world. I'm going to donate this shuttle and Reaver to the Terran cause because I'm such a nice guy. I guess, you know, he really is the people's champion, right? So I don't know. He's just like throwing away a shuttle, and now he's in big trouble because Xellos is just like he's got him in a vice grip, and he's just twirling the gears, just slowly tightening it down onto the Rock. And the Rock is, I think, just giving up. He's just letting his Dragoons just sit there and soak up the damage. The Reaver's coming a little bit too late. If he had those Reavers firing Scarabs on those Mech Marines before he lost every single one of his Dragoons, might have made a difference. But instead, he waits for all his Dragoons to die and then comes in with the Reavers and loses everything. And again, you know, it's just up to Xellos to be... Xellos just has to be a little bit careful and cautious here. He has to make sure he's protecting these tanks with his Medic Marines, and he's continue to pump Medic Marines across the map. The second shuttle's out now. He still has these 2 Reavers inside, but he's not doing anything about maybe going for the tanks that are on the high ground, or the other side of the island, I guess, that are on the I don't know how you describe it. Yeah, that tank right there, that's what I'm talking about. He could have gone after that. That would have been a free kill if he dropped a Zealot on top of it. But he's just not playing up to speed here. And, you know, I think even against a better player, you know, we still could have seen Xellos succeed with this build. It's a pretty cool build. I like it a lot. Coming out with a good timing. The Medic Marines obviously very strong against the Dragoons. There weren't a lot of Zealots on the ground to deal with the Medic Marines. He didn't have... I don't know. He had the Reavers. He just didn't use them well. He just lost every single Reaver that he's made this game in bad situations. And so Rock is going to lose his second game in this group. And he's going to go down to the final match. So Xellos advances with 2-0. Xellos with his characteristic cool look, not showing any being fazed at all by the situation at all. Not even showing like a celebration. He's just like, oh yeah, I guess I 2-0'd my group. That's cool, whatever. You know, it's fine. I guess it happens. And so the Rock is going to drop down to the final match. We're going to have to go see who wins between Julyzerg and Max. And then the winner of that match will then play the Rock in the final match. So let's go ahead and get into the next game, which is going to be Julyzerg versus Max. See if Julyzerg can survive or if he's going to get cheesed out of the group of the OSL. All right. Thanks for watching. GG.